Hey everybody, this is Ian Campbell, CEO of Mission Suite. I'm here today with day 2 of the 20-day Facebook Live challenge that I'm giving myself. Today I want to talk a little bit about, really want to talk about what automation can do, right? And so I was giving a demo earlier today and had a conversation with a gentleman who was having a hard time. Really focusing on follow-up, right, and getting his follow-up done and getting all the follow-up that he needed to get done, and so it kind of made me think. And so as I was showing some of the standard pieces of the demo, it got me thinking about some of the things that I've seen automation do. Because for a long time I was a one-man show. My wife Lindsay joined me in the business. Back in September. So it's been a while now. But she joined me in the business. But before that, it was just me and my virtual assistant, right? I mean, it was just, I was out there, I was doing my job, I was making connections, I was finding new clients. I was doing all right, but what I really realized was that I needed some force multipliers, right? I needed some things to really aggressively start pushing some of my sales efforts forward, because I was like every other consultant at the time, right? I wasn't really treating this like it was a recurring revenue business. I wasn't really treating this like it was a software sale. I was treating it like it was a consulting sale, because for 17 years, something like that, that's exactly what I've been doing. So that's all I knew. And I dealt with the consultant's dilemma just like everybody else, right? And if anybody out there knows what the consultant's dilemma is, basically what that turns into is that you go out, you find new business, you go out, you network, you go out and drink coffee, you go out and do your thing, and then you find a client. Woohoo! Awesome. Congratulations. Then you spend a bunch of time servicing that client, but you fall by the wayside in all your other business development activities, right? And so as a result, you end up with this, kind of stagnant layer, and then all of a sudden you get a client, you start making some money, and then all of a sudden that finishes up, and it turns into just kind of maintenance mode, right? And so you're down here, and then you find a client again, then you go up here, and then all of a sudden you're back down here, right? And so you ultimately, this graph keeps going the right way, but it's a lot slower than it should be. When I first moved out here to Denver from San Diego and I started doing some networking out here, I actually started using my own system the way that I've been telling other people that they should be doing it as well, right? I mean, the cobbler's kids finally got a pair of shoes. Excuse me. And so what I ended up doing was I put in place an automated follow-up system. So now every networking event that I go to, every cold call that I make, every conversation that I have, if there's anything to do as far as following up is concerned, then I make sure that I'm able to do it, but I don't do it myself. And that's the beautiful thing, because I spent about, I'm going to say 10 minutes, figuring out, kind of writing out exactly what I wanted my follow-up to be. And then I spent maybe 45 minutes writing out my emails and making sure that they were ready to go. And then I spent another 10 minutes, making sure that they were parsed out and able to be personalized for everybody with placeholders and all that good stuff. So I spent some time on it, don't get me wrong, but once that time was done, all I have to do whenever I go to a networking event, for example, is go to my website, go on to Mission Suite, go into my system, and then enter in the information, tag them in the right way, and boom, immediately thereafter, an email goes out saying, hey, it was great to meet you. And if we talked about getting together again, it says we talked about getting together again. If I met them in San Diego, then it says I split time between here and Denver. Let's do a phone call. If I met them in Denver, then it says, hey, let's grab coffee. Let's get together. Let's have a conversation, right? And so, it's an immediate follow up, and then a few days later, I get a reminder to actually make a call, assuming I haven't heard back from them, right? So there's a lot of these things that I put in place, and these things were right there in front of me, and they were so easy to do, and it was a very simple matter, but I was not doing them, and because I had other things that I had to do. I needed to take care of my current clients. I didn't have time to deal with myself. And that was not a good way to develop business. I'll tell you that, especially when during in a big business transition phase. And so I was thinking about that during this demo. And one of the biggest issues that we have, just in general, whether we're in sales or biz dev or marketing or whatever, if we're networking, if we're following up on inbound leads, whatever the case might be. One of the biggest issues that we have is making sure that nothing falls through the cracks. And using automation for marketing and for sales can really, really make an impact on that. And obviously this is just kind of grazing the surface here on this video, and I don't want to make it too long. But definitely, if you're using a system, an automated system in some way, try to figure out how you can use it more. Try to figure out how you can use it more impactfully. Try to figure out how you can set things up so that these things that you do over and over and over again, you don't have to keep doing over and over and over again, right? If I have this revenue impact calculator on the Mission Suite website. That's actually kind of cool. But I used it. I built it based off of my experience, wherein every networking event that I would go to, I'd spend about an hour doing follow up. And that's when I was actually doing it, and that included sending out the email and putting them into the system, and then scheduling out a phone call, all those different things, right? So all those things took me about an hour for each event that I was going to, and I was going to about 2 a day. So 2 hours right there, right out the window. Now it takes me 5 minutes per event. So 2 hours to 10 minutes. That's a huge time savings. Imagine how much money you can make doing that and using that time for prospecting new clients or finding some new people, whatever. So definitely check it out. Highly recommend it. You can check out the revenue impact calculator on our website at www.themissionsuite.com. It's under resources. So check that out too. And hope you enjoyed this one. And one of the things that I realized yesterday when I was doing this was that on my selfie stick, when I was trying to figure this whole thing out, it was really shaky. So went out and got a tripod. So hopefully this one's working better. So anyway, I will see you tomorrow, and I hope you all have a good day.